Hi guys, welcome to Yooniverse Uncut, episode 5. I can't believe we have been super consistent on this one. I was thinking a lot about it if I want to still continue with the Universe Uncut episodes, but I think I will now that I'm on episode 5. So, confetti, hey, wow, amazing. Anyway, today is a little bit of a day where I'm like low on energy, so I'm not really in the best of moods, but it's all good. We're happy that we're alive. We're happy that we're still living. Anyway, let's get into it. I think one of the favorite quotes of today that I found on my notes that I probably read or wrote down like a couple of days ago or weeks. I don't remember when. Let me actually see when I found it. It was from 28th of November, 2025. And it says, embarrassment is an underexplored emotion. And I didn't say anything more than that. And I think that's a very great thing to ponder on and reflect on when you deep it. I actually do think that embarrassment is a very it's an emotion that we don't really explore that much because everyone is really afraid of it. No one really tries to see why embarrassment is a bad thing. And of course, I think embarrassment is one of those emotions that you definitely don't want to feel. It's just like you don't want to feel heartbroken. You don't want to be sad. You don't want to have anxiety. But embarrassment is such an underexplored emotion because of how the world perceives a certain thing or a certain person. And even in a certain conversation, you normally get embarrassed after something else happens, after a reaction from another person. You never really get embarrassed when someone else is not really reacting to it. For instance, I don't feel embarrassed if I'm doing something silly in my own comfort or in the comfort of my own home. For instance, if I'm doing something silly like, I don't know, I don't even know what is silly, but if I was going to do something silly or if I was just going to roam around in the house naked, I would feel some sort of embarrassment if I was going to do it outside because I know other people are watching. And I think it's that element. It's that element of knowing people are watching you that makes you feel embarrassed. And that's the problem. And maybe if you start not caring about what others think about you, you might not feel as embarrassed as you normally do. I think it's an emotion I really tend to struggle a lot with, especially being an elderly brother, having people that look up to me, and not just siblings looking up to me, but like maybe younger people, younger friends that I've kind of mentored through life, or some people I've been a teacher to for a long time in my life. I've been teacher to a couple of young kids back in the day, so like 3 years ago now. And I was also in I was trying to help some kids get off the street and stuff, and those kind of kids looked up to me. So I think a person who has so many eyes on him all the time, especially from all corners, I think trying to do something new was always going to be a struggle for me. And the only reason I, for instance, started YouTube was because for the first, I was bored. For the second, I had a lot of dead time. So I was like, this is the perfect time to do it. And for the third, I just did it because it's also a dream I used to have when I was younger. So being able to say, even if it doesn't, even if this YouTube channel doesn't succeed, being able to say that I actually did put myself out there, I did try, and I did make videos. I made YouTube videos on a weekly basis. Saying that to the younger version of myself, I think I would have fainted and been a big fan of myself. And I think one of the things I do in life is that I always try to, you know, make the younger person of me proud and impressed. That's it. That's in the entire process of my life. Everything I do is low key for the younger me, because it's a lot of things I've been through, man. A lot of things I've been through, but we keep pushing, right? We keep pushing. At the end of the day, life is good. Life is good. You can't complain. Other people are having a horrible time. Look at Venezuela. Venezuela is going through a rough time now. Palestine is going through a rough time. Sudan is going through a horrible time. People at Congo is getting abused and going through a rough time. There's so much hurt and pain and suffering happening in the world that sometimes your problems don't feel as powerful, or they don't feel as huge as you think that they do. For instance, 1 out of 8 billion people, right? And all those 8 billion people have so many different struggles. And it makes you wonder that if you were going to compare your struggles with theirs, would you be more appreciative of the struggles that you're feeling? Those are questions that I do be asking myself. For instance, let's say I have girl problems, right? I always do have girl problems, man. Every year, girl problems, bro. And let me tell you guys this, right? Me having girl problems, I can't say this is the equivalent to someone else who is just struggling to, live day by day. Someone struggling with mental health issues. I mean, damn, some of these girls been giving me some mental health issues, man. But in general, that I can't be comparing my issues to others, and that's why I think it's great to just be thankful. It's great to just keep looking forward. That's one of the most important things in life. And since we have kind of reflected on that, I want to also reflect on something else, actually. Something that, I wouldn't say it keeps me up at night, but it's something I think of. And that is being a high achiever and having something called an anxiety attachment. If you want to do something all the time and you want to fulfill all your dreams and you want to be super successful and you have this crazy drive, I think one of the toughest and most difficult things that you will come by is being a person who has anxiety attachment. You want to just fulfill and just be in control of everything, right? And this can be in even relationships, actually, where if a relationship is starting to go horrible and you actually love the girl, you want that relationship to succeed, so you have this weird attachment to her, even though you know that realistically that shit is never gonna work, for instance, right? And another thing I always think about is how I always want to be in control of everything. All my decisions, I want to be in control of them. And also, I don't really want to say that I do experience the anxiety attachment issues, but I do feel like I do sometimes. Even in the smallest things, for instance, playing a video game, I have to actually beat the boss before I can move on. It does not matter if it will take me 1 day, if it will take me 2 hours, if it will take me 3 months. I will sit there every day, not for 3 months straight, that's kind of psychotic, but I meant like I'll sit there and every time I have the chance to actually fight that boss, I will fight that boss until I win. And maybe that's not a good thing, right? It's not supposed to be a good thing, but it's something that I have been struggling with and I've accepted to just live with it and come to terms with it, because I think it's also what makes me me. Being able to acknowledge that I have these problems, but those problems are not problems that will hurt me or just destroy my life. But I think if I was going to do that with like relationships and stuff, that would ruin me. I'm not gonna lie, that would absolutely ruin me. So yeah, I think relationships, we can have that talk another time. We don't really have to have that talk. There's no point in having a relationship talk, but we can have a talk about embettering yourself and empowerment and actually making yourself become a better person, right? We don't need that relationship talk to make those decisions for ourselves. You don't have to do anything actually for a relationship in general. You have to do it for yourself. But I'm looking at the TV right now, or the little gaming PC, the TV screen I have, and I'm just thinking about the next boss I'm going to be meeting, which is the final boss of the game. And it's kind of crazy how far I've come on the game after a week. The game has been very tough. Actually, I'm just going to give it a shout out. It's called Ghost of Yotei. It's a very great game. If you guys ever want to, have the opportunity to play a game like that, please do. It's a very great game. If you guys don't have any games to play right now, I would recommend Ghost of Yotei. And if you need a game for free, I might help you. I'm just saying I might. Send me a message on Insta or something and I might help you. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to guarantee anything, but I might help you. And this is for the 1%ers that left. But yeah. I really enjoy speaking on these Universe Uncut episodes. It's one of those episodes where I just can relax and chill, and I don't have to have an elaborate script. I just have to bring my quotes ready and just speak in general about life and updates. And I also want to actually speak about the latest YouTube video I dropped, because that YouTube video, it kind of hit me, man. That video actually hit me. It hit me badly, bro. Because I was recording it actually, and I think you guys can even hear it on my voice. In the end, I was getting, I wouldn't say I was getting choked up, but it was starting to feel heavy. The script, it was starting to feel heavy, man. I was relating to it a little bit too much. It was starting to hit deep, and I've always loved Goku as a character in Dragon Ball Z. He's always been my favorite character. But the problem is, and my brother, right? My brother, who's 1 year younger than me, has always liked the other player, the other character. So he's always loved the rivals. He have loved Vegeta. He's loved Sasuke. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, if we watched Naruto together, I was always Naruto. He was Sasuke. I was Goku. He was Vegeta. You know what I'm saying? Every anime I watched, he was the rival. But when I look at the outside world and I see how the outside world is, I sometimes feel like I'm in Vegeta's spot. Sometimes I look at people and I see their accomplishments and I'm like, I deserve it more than you though. I've done so much. I've done this and this and this. And I feel like when I was gone from YouTube for the past 6 months, for the past 6 months, not these current 6 months, but I mean like earlier in the last year. I almost said early in the year as if it's like 2025, but early last year. I was gone for 6 months, and when I was gone, I think I was starting to feel that Vegeta complex way too much. But at the same time, I look back on my Snapchat videos and I see, the memories that I have recorded, and all of them are great, and I'm having a good time. And I can even show you guys one of them right now just to prove that, I was having a good time, you know what I'm saying? But I think 2025 was not as great as 2024 was, to be honest, if I'm going to be real. But like, in general, all these videos just look like I'm having a great time, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of them are in my house, which means that I wasn't really going out that much. But one thing and one picture I have actually found last year, it's a video or a picture of, I have the video, but I don't know if I will ever show it. But it's a video of me going around street interviewing people back in 2017 when it was not popular to do so, by the way. Here's me with my iPhone SE speaking to a person. Sorry guys, I got interrupted. Sorry guys, the capacity on my PC kind of went down. It said I didn't have enough storage no more. I had storage issues, so my thing died. But I was saying that, I've always wanted to do YouTube from young. Even for that, it was actually for school, if I remember correctly. We were making something, a news channel or something, and we had to present it. And we didn't have to go outside, but we did. We did go outside, and we were reporting on the news that a president died. I don't remember which one it was. Maybe it was Trump. But yeah, a president died, and we were going around pranking people and saying, what do you guys think about the president dying? Did you guys see the news? And he died from being sniped by a 97-year-old grandma or something. And they were like, what? Ha! It was a great time in my life, man. I miss those days, actually. I miss those days. And I even made a podcast, actually, for school. It was about the Viking era. Or we call it Viking tid. I don't know how to say it in English, but it's the age of Vikings, I guess you could say, the Viking age. And we were speaking about I think it's in Norwegian it's called norrøn mythology. I don't know what the hell it's called in English. The Thors and the Lokis and the Odins. You know what I'm saying? Like that religion. I don't know what it's called. The North. I don't know. Anyway, you guys get the point. So I've always wanted to be in front of the camera. Actually, I even made a podcast. I made a podcast for math. For a math thing. Which is so funny, man. I've done so much, but I never published any of it. I mean, my catalog in the Snapchat is just a bunch of videos. Just a bunch of videos of me just documenting different stuff. And most of them is just me speaking to the camera, so that first of all I get more comfortable in front of it. Secondly, I remove every filler word so that I can speak more eloquently. And third of all, it just feels nice to speak to the camera. And sometimes I love listening to it. It's just some sort of a therapy, listening back to the thoughts that you had in that specific time. It can be when you're going through a heartbreak and you just, sometimes you just you just want to record it, speak about how you're feeling, and then you look back at it maybe a month or two or maybe a year later. You look back at it and you're like, damn, bro, I was down bad for this girl. Or damn, man, I was spitting. Or man, I was so wrong. Sometimes I just say a random take, you know what, man? And I just say something that is not polarizing, but something that I kind of agree with, and I think about it, and maybe I come back a week later or a month later, and my opinion changed, and I will look back at it and I'm like, you know what, I kind of disagree with it. And if I was there now, I would have debated myself and told myself why I don't agree with it. You know what I'm saying? I love to document things, and being young and being blessed, and living in the time of age where we have this on our hands, it's such a great thing. I'm very appreciative of it because I can document everything, and people have something to look back on when the time comes of my death, which is a little bit dark, but of course they can celebrate it. They have everything is on my phone. Because your phone is the closest thing. It's an extension of yourself. The phone is an extension of yourself, and when people look at your phone or go through your phone, they are seeing a huge part of who you are as a person. And I don't even know what else to say. I just kind of I just stopped. My thought of train just stopped. But yeah, basically the phone is an extension of yourself, and it shows who you are as a person, and it also shows the personality that you have and the way you carry yourself. So if you have like a messy everything is all over the place, then you are a messy person in general, and it kind of reflects on you. But if everything is organized, it kind of reflects on how organized you are as a person, and the things that you write down on your notes. It's like we call it Inblick. It's a how do I even say it in English? It's like an introduction to you. You know what I'm saying? It's a peek. It's a peek through for. How do you even say this, man? It's like a peek through. Like, when you're peeking into a window or through a window, like you're peeking through a window into that person's life, pretty much. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know the exact name or the word for that, but yeah. So yeah, you get to experience the other person, and that's why I'm really sometimes, even though there's nothing to hide on my phone. Sometimes I don't really like, people taking my phone, for instance. I have literally nothing to hide. I can show you guys literally everything on my phone, like from my hands. But the minute someone takes my phone, I don't like that. I don't like the feeling. I don't know, man. I've been yapping a little bit too long, guys. I think it's like around 18 minutes now. I will try to bring a host. Hopefully, maybe next week. I don't know if I will though. I think I want to do it after I hit episode 10, because then it means that I've been I've been consistent for 10 weeks, consistent 10 weeks, putting out this, and I don't think I missed a single week yet. And we're putting it out every Wednesday. Yooniverse Uncut. You know what I'm saying? Every Wednesday, it's a day for uncut truth. You know what I'm saying? We're telling the truth with no filters. And that's what we call it, uncut, because there's very minimal editing going on. But today there's a little bit of editing that will be going on because of, low storage. And I had to fix the table a little bit where the camera is standing on. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you lot in the next one. And yeah, if this video hits, let me say a niche like count. If this video hits exactly 73 likes, I'll give away this. Oh, I dropped it. Fantastic. It's a tennis bracelet. I'm actually going to give it to my brother, but if it hits it before then, I'm giving away this tennis bracelet to someone, because I'm not really a big fan of it. I've loved it. I've had it for a bit now, but I think it's time to give it to a new owner. They'll appreciate it more, because I barely use it. So yeah, if someone wants this new tennis bracelet, 73 exact likes. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you a lot in the next one. Peace.